Reaction is brought to you by my $5 or more patrons at patreon.com/AlexHeitz. I'd like to thank Andreas Glaisel, Steph Newtown, Andrew Graff, at HotGirlVideo69 on Twitter, Dauphin Thorndike, Jeff Dean, Mark Ventura, Matthew McLaughlin, Richard, Sebastian Strawler, Uwu Tang, Will E., Robert Mackey, and Sam Gavshak for sponsoring this video, supporting me and my family, the channel. I appreciate it immensely, and I hope you all enjoy this video. There must be something right, boys. Here we are yet again, listening to some more Chameleons. Oh yeah. So, I have not done a follow-up to Script of the Bridge. I'm actually planning on recording a big batch of follow-ups after this video comes out on my off week, which will include Script of the Bridge. But when I will go into a little bit of how I felt about the album. I mean, it's been what, a couple weeks since I heard it, I believe. Yeah, December 30th is when that video went up. So I'll muse on that a little bit. Not very much because I want to save it for the follow-up, but very eager to continue on this Chameleons binge today. I have added 2 new albums to the lineup. People wanted The Fan and the Bellows added, which is a compilation that just kind of includes all the tracks that kind of fell through the cracks as they were coming out with albums. And then some people wanted Why Call It Anything added as well, which was their comeback album from 2001. Because there's a album called Strip from 2000, which looks like it just kind of has a variety of tracks that are acoustic, like acoustic renditions of it. And then This Never Ending Now also looks like another acoustic version of previous songs, whereas Why Call It Anything is an actual comeback album from 2001. So some people wanted that. I made a poll, and a majority of people said, yeah, add it. So I've added 2 new Chameleons albums to the lineup, as well as an additional poll album to break it up, which means that after this album today, there will be a poll album. So this is all just stuff happening right now, immediate. If this video is 3 years old, disregard all of this stuff I'm saying right now. Yeah, very eager to check out the one that we have going on today. For those who don't know, I do unedited reactions at my Patreon, patreon.com/AlexHeitz for $5 a month. You can get access to unedited reactions from Modest Mouse going forward. That is April of 2021 that I started doing unedited reactions. $5 a month gets you access to all of that content. You can also hop in at the $1 per month level and get access to voting in polls that we do every 2 to 4 albums. Kind of breaks up the monotony of artist binges, and just kind of interjects a random miscellaneous album into the mix. And that's going to be the next album I will be doing as a poll album. So if you want to support the channel and also get access to those kind of interactions, head on over to patreon.com/AlexHeitz. Also, NordVPN, link in the description for that. Fantastic VPN that I use all the time. Encrypt your data, access content from other countries. Great speeds, great prices. Go check it out in the link below. What does anything mean, basically? It really bothers me that there's no punctuation after basically. It's like, what? What does anything mean? I'm so lost anymore. So yeah, this is the album coming up after Script of the Bridge, which, like I said, quick thoughts on Script of the Bridge. I think it's a really nice album. I don't know if I love it yet, but it is extremely solid. Nothing below like a 3.5 out of 5 for me on that thing. I think all of the tracks have a lot of value to them. Some are really, really fantastic. Some are really good, and the rest are just quite solid. So as far as like a post-punk album goes, it's up there for me for sure, but I'll muse more on that when I actually get to the follow-up for it. So the album today comes out 2 years later, and I believe it so there was a US release of Script of the Bridge, which got rid of 4 songs, which the band wasn't really into. And I actually looked, someone mentioned that in the comments on the last video, and I looked at it, I'm like, that's an interesting track list. I kind of prefer this one, and it sort of makes sense to remove maybe a couple tracks here or there to kind of tighten up the flow of Script of the Bridge. But I do feel like the normal version, the, what is it, 10 track, 11 track 12 track. How many? 12. The 12 track version is a bit superior based on the other track list. And that release, accompanied with an 84 American tour, got them a lot of college radio play and loyal fan base. And then with What Does Anything Mean? Basically, not a whole lot to know about it, honestly. Just kind of happened while they were kind of gaining traction in the US. But yeah, really sparse Wikipedia page for it. It's only 41 minutes, which I kind of appreciate. It really depends on the type of album, but anytime an album breaks 50 minutes, I feel like you really have to warrant it. Script to the Bridge mostly did. It's 57 minutes. I feel like you could have cut maybe one track from Script to the Bridge and tightened it up a slight bit more. But yeah, this is only 41, which I 40 to 45 minutes is kind of my sweet spot. Sometimes even like 38, because I like to, get in, get out, have a nice cohesive thing, unless it's very slow and meditative, in which case go up into the hour ranges. I'm just rambling at this point. What does anything mean? So this is 10 tracks. I have heard none of these. And on the next album, I have heard Soul in Isolation and Swamp Thing. So this is my only kind of blind spot for Chameleons at the moment. But it just looks like more of the same. I was told that I might like the dreamier aspect of this a bit more, which I'm all for. Love the dreamier side of Chameleons. Anyway, I don't think I have anything else to add at all. So I guess we're just going to go ahead and get started with the first track. It's only 2 minutes. Silence, Sea, and Sky. Great. Fantastic start. I love that kind of like bittersweet yearning vibe to it. Great synth. Cool. Fantastic start. Hopefully the rest of the album sounds just like that. Knock on wood. Everyone in the comments is like, oh, he doesn't know. Perfume Garden. Great. I dig it. I really like the atmospheres going on here on this one. It's a little less with certain kinds of post-punk, there's like that aggression of punk that still kind of remains. This seems to be a little bit slower and more introspective, which I really appreciate. That's way more my speed. Great guitar work still from Reg and Dave. Also, looking up the producer, Colin Richardson, who did the first two albums, also the In Shreds producer, all that stuff, did not do Strange Times. But in the late 80s and into the 90s, he produced a ton of death metal, which is like almost exclusively death metal, Colin Richardson. Just found that fascinating because it's like such a far removed vibe from anything like this. But cool. Off to a great start. Good opening. Intrigue in Tangiers. Cool. A lot of cool aspects to that song. I like that very sparse acoustic picked riff, but also like that guitar riff in there had like a type of distortion that I really like where it's not like wildly overdriven. It's just kind of fuzzy. And it gave it some nice texture and oomph to the song. Cool. Cool. We're starting off quite strong, I gotta say. Return of the Roughnecks. Cool. Not as good as some of the previous ones, but like something about their riffs that are like, I don't know if I would say all of them are amazing, but like a few of them have been like very catchy and awesome. Um, but even just the ones that are just kind of by the books, they fit really well with the other instruments and give the songs some nice like punch and rhythm and flow. I feel like this is something I've talked about on previous reactions, how I really enjoy when instruments complement each other and become like greater than the sum of their parts. You know what I mean? Like just all of the pieces fit together and you have this thing that couldn't have existed without all of these individual pieces doing what they're doing. Cool. Singing Rule Britannia while the walls close in. Not bad. That was a little bit more of like a texture song than one that was like riding on melody. Um, Interesting how they're kind of leaning on like synthesizers here. I know that they used the ARP string ensemble, which was a Wikipedia fully polyphonic multi-orchestral synthesizer with a 49 key keyboard produced by Eminent BV. From 1974 to 1981. It was a relic by the time they used it on this. And that's the end of side one, which I guess kind of makes sense. Interested to see side two. I'm always curious about how bands handle their side Bs, if you will. I feel like Script of the Bridge definitely, I wouldn't say got darker, but it got a little slower in some ways. At least with like Pleasure and Pain and Thursday's Child. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking out of my butt, but let's go with On the Beach. That's some quintessential Chameleons right there. Mysterious, bold lyrics, soaring riffs, cool textures. It checks all the boxes. I like that. Interesting start on side B. The album has been more, I wouldn't say aggressive, but definitely like rockier and intense than the first two tracks I think signaled it would be. Not that that's a problem, but I'm trying to adjust on the fly. Looking inwardly. I'm very torn on that one because I feel like the guitar riff was simultaneously really engaging and compelling, but also very monotonous and a bit annoying. So I don't know. There's something odd about that one that just kind of like rubbed me the right way and the wrong way at the same time. I don't know. I'll have to get back to you guys on that one. Very, very torn on it. Cool outro though. One Flesh, 3 tracks left. Interesting. Enjoyed that one. It again had that typical Chameleons like first half, second half thing where they're almost like two completely separate ideas. But that opening that was engaging. It's kind of like a up the down escalator, like this kind of like anthemic, triumphant sort of sound that they don't often go for. I feel like this one's definitely closer to that kind of like pop rock, arena rock, anthemic kind of thing. And obviously, like, they're taking some influence from U2 and like Echo and the Bunnymen. So you can hear that come through occasionally when they're not kind of being in the murky gothic post-punk stuff. But cool. Side B has been interesting for sure. Penultimate track, Home is Where the Heart Is. Nice. I admire that it's a departure. It's something a little bit different. Um, Really fascinating chord work in there as well. This is kind of like closer to the Chameleons that I've always kind of anticipated, but have never really gotten. Because like when I look at the artwork, you get this sense of like these old who are the people I'm thinking of, like MC Escher, the Dolly, the very surreal kind of art, and you're thinking something kind of like labyrinthine and cerebral, mysterious, and you get that in the lyrics for sure. But the music doesn't always translate to like the vibe of the art of the album, I would say, in a few exceptions of different songs, but that I feel like is way closer to what I was expecting from the little Chameleons I had heard before and all their artwork and, all that kind of stuff. So cool. Not necessarily one of my favorites on the album, but I admire that it was audacious and mysterious and interesting. So awesome. P.S. Goodbye. Final track. Spectacular. Top 5 favorite Chameleon songs right there, baby. I like how this happened with View from a Hill as well. Like completely different kind of track than like anything else that was on the album. Much more slower, introspective, not seeking to be punky or rocky. Nice, just bittersweet, melancholy outro. And I like that was like more in that kind of like new wave, big music ish. It wasn't really big, but it was certainly closer to the pop stuff around this time. Magnificent. Really like that riff in there as well. Really good. Okay. What does anything mean? Basically, is a good album. It's quite solid actually. Better than Script to the Bridge. Don't know yet. Don't know about that. Need to dive back into those tracks more for sure. But with this, really the only ones that I wasn't really sold on was Return of the Roughnecks, Singing Rule Britannia, and a little bit of Looking Inwardly. And then Home is Where the Heart Is. I'm a little torn on that too, because it was kind of a surprise. But the opener, Silent Sea and Sky, was beautiful. Perfume Garden and Intrigue and Tangiers, very compelling tracks. On the Beach, quintessential Chameleons, like I said. One Flesh was pretty fascinating, and P.S. Goodbye was beautiful. Magnificent track. Yeah, this is quite solid. It stands up just as well to Script of the Bridge as far as anything in their catalog goes so far. Interesting how it, to me, it's as interesting as Script of the Bridge, but no one talks about this. There's such little, like I said, the Wikipedia is pretty small. Not a lot of people mention tracks off of this. Script of the Bridge gets all the love, which I'm kind of starting to believe is only because of Second Skin. I mean, Second Skin is magnificent, don't get me wrong, but like, I don't know. The more I think about it, the more I think Script of the Bridge kind of rides off of, for the most part, rides off of Second Skin a little bit, and maybe up the down escalator. But yeah, this was very good. Eager to re-listen to some of these tracks, and eager to compare it to Strange Times when I get to that, because I can definitely tell that they're slightly moving away from what the Script of the Bridge sound was. But I can't quite tell exactly where it's going to go. So very eager to see where all this is going to land on the next album. All right. That's all I got, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed the video. This was a nice listening sesh. Things to plug yet again, patreon.com/AlexHaitz. $5 a month, access to unedited reactions, of which this is one. And then $1 a month to vote in polls that I do every 2 to 4 albums. Also, got to mention the Discord. Head on over there if you want to join the community of people who like to talk and watch me listen to things. We are going to be doing poll 33 very soon. Actually, as of right now, it is open to pick the albums that will be in poll 33. So head on over to the Discord if you want to partake in that as well. That's all, everybody. Hope you're all having a splendid new year. We're having a nice cold chameleon winter here, which is great. I encourage everyone to not feel like they need to be on the New Year grind immediately, because January is an arbitrary time to begin the new year. And I think that the new year should technically just really begin in spring when it starts to warm up. That's when you should start getting the ball rolling. I encourage everyone to hunker down, rest, relax, try not to make all the money in the world and bounce back and clean your house and do stuff when it's freaking cold outside, and you should just be chilling and being restful and heal your spirit, bro. Anyway, there's your nugget of wisdom from this just random dude who you've never met before, so take it as you will. But that's all I got. Hope you guys are enjoying the Chameleons binge. We have 2 more albums added to the list, so hopefully you guys will enjoy those as well. Thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, Godspeed.